Welcome to Save As Ability, a podcast to educate and inform you about disability employment issues. My name is David D'Arcangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert.
About an hour ago, I underwent laser surgery to help protect my retina. My disease is, makes me susceptible to retinal issues because I have a thing called retinoschisis. And so part of my retina was lifting up and causing floaters, which I still have the floaters, but anyways, they wanted to do some laser surgery. So I went in this morning for the checkup, and they said, well, we're going to do some laser surgery. So they did the laser surgery. So shout out to everybody at New England Eye Center and Dr. Tiger and her team there for taking care of that. And hopefully that helps ameliorate the situation. But experiences like this have a way of reminding us that control is limited. So rather than postpone, and we had another episode on entertainment. We'll do that episode probably next week or the week after. So, but because I'm not going to be able to read those talking points because my eyes are still very dilated and sore because I literally had the surgery about an hour ago. So what I am going to tell you though is I'm going to share with you my own personal experiences here. They have a way of reminding us that control is limited and your health is a fragile thing. And to me, that speaks to what we talk about here on this podcast, on this program, is that your ability is not like an entitlement, right? You earn your ability. Now, we're all born with it. We're all in various stages of ability, which means we start with little to no ability, and then we gain that ability. And then if you live long enough, hopefully that ability tends to diminish over time, generally, not with everybody, right? So, but as Epictetus says, like it's important to focus on things that are within your control, right? And control things that you can. And so some things are out of your control, like, your retina detaching or lifting or floaters or whatever you want to say. So, we have to have humility, and I'm very faithful. And I think, with any luck, everything will work out, but we're not promised certainty. And I guess people with disabilities know that better than anybody. And so medical challenges can interrupt things and even the most carefully made plans. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to succumb to that, or are you going to work through it? And that's why I'm here today talking about it rather than postpone the episode or talk about something else. That's why I'm talking about it here today. Because we can't control that, right? So what can we control, though? We can't control how we prepare and the type of medical care that we seek out, and making sure that we are making good decisions and responsible decisions with our caregiver team, with our medical team, all of that. And then ultimately just, hope that there is something that can be done to ameliorate it, whether it's, in my instance, an eye situation or some other type of disabling situation, physical, cognitive, sensory, whatever you want to say there. So another point I wanted to make, though, is that you got to protect what you have, because what you have, just because you have it once or have it at a point in time, doesn't mean you're always going to have it. So this builds off of what we were just talking about. And you got to really try to keep what you have if you value that, right? Obviously, I value the limited vision that I have, and I want to try to keep that. So being proactive, going for visits, that does help. And with other disabilities too, like there's always a path to be taken there in terms of, are you being proactive or are you being reactive? I would encourage you to be proactive. And even when it seems like, oh, well, they haven't been able to, there's new advancements all the time. There's new devices all the time. There's new ways of looking at it all the time to present different options. And again, this is for all different prevalence types. I would encourage you to do that and not just be, oh, well, nothing can be done in this defeatist attitude. No, that can be the tendency. And I understand that. I recognize that. And it takes challenge and perseverance to work through that. I know that personally. So I'm not patronizing anybody when I'm saying that. It is challenging. And sometimes, guess what? Sometimes there really isn't a great answer. And you don't have that many options. And that can be challenging too. But that's still something I would encourage everybody to work through. Because then that's going to give you some sense of gratitude, of that, that you can settle into. Because if not, you're living with things over your head like, oh, this could happen, that could happen. Anything can happen at any time. Again, back to what we were talking about with control. We have to realize what is in our direct control, what isn't. And some things that we think are in our control, maybe they're not as much as in our control. And things that we think are outside of our control, maybe they are actually more in our control than we think. So again, to conclude here, and as I'm sharing this with you, I want to make sure everybody knows that the challenges that you face, there is still an underlying purpose. There is still a larger plan. You still have talent and ability to make good on, not only for yourself and for the people in your situation, but for society. And so whatever limitation or, lack of ability, I'm putting those in air quotes because, again, you can't have a disability without first having ability. So what I'm trying to emphasize is we've got to focus on ability, even if that ability has changed because of a condition or a challenge or the disability progression or whatever the case may be. You got to repurpose. You've got to stay away from the fears. You've got to deny the difficulties that it brings and try to turn those challenges into opportunities. That's easy to say. It's much more difficult to do, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And so Save Visibility is all about sharing our insights here to try to improve the human condition. That's been the goal from day one. It's going to remain the goal. It's a lofty goal, but we're still going to do it. We're still going to try. We're trying our best here. So again, I just wanted to give gratitude to all my doctors and the team, and for all of you for listening and watching. If you can continue to help us grow, like, subscribe, share, comment. We'll be back next week. Hopefully my eyes will be at a more place of stasis and in a better position than they're in right now. But again, I appreciate you all. It's David Darkangelo, another episode of Save Visibility. And I hope you have a great day.
For more information about disability employment issues, please visit our website, disabilityemploymentsolutions.com. The Save As Ability podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our YouTube channel at Disability Policy Expert, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment. Save As Ability lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #TheNewRadio. Again, my name is David Darkangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Until next time, thank you. I hope you have a great day.